Things can get crazy out in the wild with several ferocious beasts fighting each other for food and resources. But sometimes this spills out into the real world as wild animals leave their homes and interact with humans on their home turf. From an elephant charging toward a jeep full of people to over 8,000 ducks blocking traffic and a pack of wolves running after a police officer, in this video we're taking a look at 12 crazy encounters with wild animals on the road. Number 12. Angry elephant charges at humans. With their sheer size and force, elephants have no trouble trampling even the deadliest of beasts, making them meet with a slow, painful death. While elephants are usually pretty calm, they can turn aggressive if they sense a threat to their safety, which is why this elephant decides to charge at a jeep with full speed and force. The giant animal storms towards the vehicle full of people, forcing the driver to put their car into reverse to try to make an escape. And while the driver does manage to drive his passengers to safety, it's only after the elephant has had the chance to smash its head into the front of the vehicle. Number 11. Wolves interrupt police. Wolf attacks are extremely rare to witness since these animals are usually wary of all other species and tend to keep to their own selves. But when they are threatened, wolves use their sharp teeth to bite their opponents. So as long as you don't turn your back on these creatures, they are probably going to be harmless. But if you run away from a wolf, that's when they perceive you as prey and start chasing after you. When this police officer stops a car for speeding, he is met with an unexpected fate when a pack of wolves start running down the road towards him. Forgetting about all the charges, the officer gets into the car and slams the door shut at the right time, letting the wild beast pass before he gets out again. Number 10. Unforgiving elk hits a cameraman. Weighing over 700 pounds, elks might not look like it, but these animals are extremely aggressive and attack their opponents by kicking and stomping. This unfortunate man happens to cross paths with an unusually furious elk who decides to teach the human a lesson by headbutting him and going right up to his face with its sharp antlers. It's a true miracle that the man still manages to remain calm, hoping that his being still and passive would eventually drive the animal away because going on the defense would provoke him more. Thankfully, that's exactly what happens because after a few minutes, the elk moves away when it senses no threat. Number 9. Cougar stalks hiker for 6 minutes. Wild cougars are normally not aggressive and don't usually feed on humans. But when threatened, these beasts can turn defensive within seconds. So when this cougar spots a man on a hiking trail in Utah as he tries to take a picture of her cubs, the mountain lion immediately jumps and starts to stalk the man, keeping her distance but slowly inching forward, refusing to back down. For about 6 minutes, the hiker slowly walks backward and the mountain lion keeps tagging along, ready to strike any second. The man tries to keep an eye on the predator as he is pursued, but then by some stroke of a miracle, the cougar decides to turn away and walk in the other direction, giving the hiker enough time to run to safety. Number 8. Birds block an entire road. With their glossy green and shimmery purple plumage, starlings are some of the most fascinating birds out in the wild. But as stunning as they are, these birds have a reputation for getting aggressive with one another and humans as well if they ever get close to their nest. But these starlings have all come together on what looks like a scene from a horror movie, taking over an entire road. This giant flock of birds is covering the road, refusing to move even as a car approaches them. When the car drives past, all the birds fly into the air to get out of the way but immediately return back to their spots as soon as the vehicle is gone. To this day, no one knows what these starlings wanted as they line the road, almost as if they were waiting for something. Number 7. Mountain lion scares hiker away. Mountain lions are known to be stealthy predators who launch their attacks when the prey least expects it. These wildcats will quietly stalk their victim for minutes on end and pounce at the right time, giving their prey no chance to escape. Mountain lions also like to size up their opponents in order to determine whether or not they're going to be a threat, which is exactly what's happening when this mountain lion slowly begins to move toward a hiker. The wildcat then stops in its track and stares down at the human for a considerable amount of time, almost ready to launch an attack before deciding against it and moving away. Number 6. Bison stampede on a road. Bison are some of the most dangerous animals out in the wild who will attack anyone when provoked. Bison respond to threats by shoving their heads and strong horns against their opponent while bellowing and raising their tails to scare them off. But this running herd of bison takes things a notch further, storming out onto a road, terrifying everyone as they are surrounded by the stampede. Bison in all sizes surround the bridge, shaking it with their strength as they run across it, even stopping to nudge a few cars along the way. Number 5. Horse goes on a stampede. Horses are great pets to have because these animals make for loving and supportive companions. Sure, these animals are big and tough, but they are also extremely calm, helping humans move towards a healthy, active lifestyle. But don't be fooled, because when these four-hoofed creatures turn aggressive, they can be extremely dangerous. While horses aren't naturally aggressive, their anger can be triggered by inappropriate handling and training. This horse was scared by all the people screaming and cars honking that it decided to break free from its owner in order to escape. The horse is seen running down the road, ramming into cars and motorcycles along the way, not willing to stop for anyone. Number 4. Sloth slows down traffic. Sloths are born with 3 to 4 inch long claws and sharp teeth that they can use to defend themselves against predators. But all of this is overshadowed by their slow movements. So while sloths might be strong enough to fight off any other animal, it's usually the speed at which they attack that puts them at a huge disadvantage. The reason why sloths are so slow is that they live on a low-calorie diet, and as a result their metabolisms are slow, with the average metabolic rate being only 40 to 45% of what it should be for their body weight. So sloths have to be very careful not to overspend their energy, which is why they move slow and stay close to their homes. This sloth, however, has somehow ended up right in the middle of the road, leading the police to intervene and stop the cars to let the poor animal cross the path at its incredibly slow speed. Number 3. Rhino attacks an SUV full of people. Rhinos generally mind their own business but immediately go on the defensive when they are threatened, charging at their opponents in an attempt to scare them off. While rhinos don't feed on animals, they use their sharp, pointed horns to attack any creature that they might perceive as a threat, making them some of the deadliest animals out in the wild. Rhinos use their horns to defend their territories, protect their calves, and dig for water, making them extremely important to the animal's survival. This rhino suffered from a serious case of road rage and charged straight for a car full of tourists, using its horns to ram into the Jeep, leaving the terrified tourists trapped inside, praying for their safety. Number 2. Lion and kudu face off in the middle of the road. Kudu bulls are some of the most impressive animals out in the wild with their incredible strength. While kudus are generally non-aggressive, their tempers tend to soar during mating season, which is when they use their horns to battle against other animals of their clan to establish dominance. Kudu horns are the largest out of any other antelope in the world, with 2.5 twists that make them look almost magical. So when this lion goes after a kudu right in the middle of the road, the antelope fights back against the wild cat. But even with all of its strength, the kudu has to give up because of the lion's strong bite that renders the other animal defenseless. The wild cat then drags the kudu onto the side and starts feeding on it as the people on the road watch this insane battle come to an unfortunate end. Number 1. 8,000 ducks hold up traffic. Ducks are extremely smart creatures that protect themselves by flying or swimming away when they are approached by predators. They survive by forming seasonal bonds with one another, where they protect and look out for new mates every season. This flock of over 8,000 ducks holding up traffic in Vietnam is a sight like no other. The birds come pouring onto the road one after the other as people watch in fascination, crossing the road to get to a rice field. The birds block the entire path for over 2 minutes, quacking and flapping their wings along the way. Alright, comment down below what you want to see next. Remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Wildly for more. See you in the next one.